announcements. My name is Jessica Adams, and I'm going to be informing you about the game of basketball. How many of you here have played basketball competitively or just for fun? I personally have been playing basketball since I was 5 years old. My parents put me on a competitive team through our local youth center, and I've been playing ever since. A quote from Mike Karzai states, "A basketball team is like 5 fingers on a hand. Once you bring them together, you can make a fist." Before you can actually start playing the sport, you need to understand the basics. So first I'm going to start explaining the positions. Here on my diagram, there are 5 different positions. The first position is point guard, which is the main ball handler. The second one is the shooting guard, who shoots pretty often. And number 3 is quick and short and is pretty good at shooting also. The power forward is a good rebounder and can shoot from inside the paint and also up here by the free throw line. The center is typically your rebounder and can also, he shoots mainly just by the basket. The basic fundamentals of basketball is passing, shooting, and dribbling. There are 3 different passing ways to pass. One is overhead, bounce pass, and chest pass. Dribbling, you typically want to start out with your dominant hand. So for me, I would start out with my left and then practice my right, and then once you feel comfortable with both, you would switch into doing right to left, left to right, which is called crossover. The next fundamental is shooting. For me, I always learned BEEF, which stands for balanced. Your feet need to be straight and flat on the floor or on the court. Eyes need to be facing the basket. Elbow, which is just like an L, and then follow through. So your follow through wants to be all the way past your ear, straight up. The next thing is, once you understand the basic fundamentals and the positions, you're going to learn defensive plays. So the 3 main defensive plays you learn is man-to-man. Man-to-man basically means you stick with a player and you don't let them go anywhere until until the play is complete. Number 2 is 2-3 zone. On my diagram here, 2 defensive players are set up on the free throw line, 1 in the middle, and 2 defensive players on each block. Basically, if the ball is passed all the way to the corner, this defensive player will come out and this defensive player will come out, and they'll both guard that one player. The next one is press. It's usually used when the game is pretty close. It's a full court defense, and as soon as the ball gets inbounded, you play defense until the play is complete. For offensive plays, I have 2 common offensive plays that are used. One is called spread. This one's typically used when you're trying to spread out time. So all 5 players are spread out past the 3-point line. And if the ball is here with number 1, he's going to pass it to number 2, and he's going to cut to the opposite side, and then you're just going to rotate and do the whole play again until you get a decent shot. Triangle is mainly for the players 3, 4, and 5. They're going to be set up on the free throw line and 2 on the block. If you pass it all the way here to this corner and they pass it into, let's say this is number 5, he doesn't have a shot, he passes it back out to number 2, and they rotate in a triangle until they get the correct shot. So now that we know the basic objectives of basketball, the greatest trait about playing basketball is learning teamwork. You learn how to encourage people, work together, build teamwork, build common goals, and build relationships. Thank you for listening to my speech. don't hesitate to go play a game of basketball.